chase with us. Come chase with us. Come chase with us. Look, now my vape, she a monster. Blowing more clouds out her mouth than a roster. Your vape, she's an imposter.
Hi guys, Polish Vapes UK. Today we're going to be looking at the Turbo RDA. We'll get this over with now, guys. I will talk about a bit more when we dive down close and have a look. A lot of people obviously have done a lot of reviews on this. There's no way I'm going to say that this RDA works the same as a Turbo, but I have been pretty happy with it. Not in this setup, but we will go through that when we get down close and have a little look at the unboxing. So let's have a toot and we'll dive down close. Right guys, here we are down with the box that the Turbo RDA came in. Just a plain old box with Atomizer series written on it. So we'll have a look. So this is how it came, guys. Obviously your usual spare O-rings, little blue screwdriver and 3 spare screws. And then we'll get down and have a look at the actual RDA. This is how it comes in a little plastic bag. You've obviously got your drip tip there for running it in the what people like to call the Kazoo mode. And then you've got it in the mode that you can run it now. Before that, let me use the rose stand, make this life a bit easier. So there's your deck, guys. And obviously the first thing you're going to notice, guys, which I'm going to talk about, is this screw in the middle there. What happened, guys, is I went to do a build on this. Obviously I've had it now probably about 2 months now. And now I went to do a new build on it, and I couldn't get the screws that come with it. I couldn't get the centre screw to go back in, so I had to just find a screw that would go in there and tighten down on them wires. So that is why it sticks up a little bit, because it's a little bit too long. But it hasn't affected the RDA, and it hasn't affected the fan on the inside either. So that's pretty much some quite nice deep juice wow in there as well, which is pretty nice. I know a lot of you guys are not going to take this apart. You've probably seen plenty of reviews that are out there now. And then obviously you've got your drip tip top cap there if you if you want to run it with a normal drip tip. And then obviously you've got this setup, which is a lot noisier, and it doesn't make a difference that it doesn't work like a turbo. I don't believe it does, from what what research I've done and what a lot of other people have said about it. Let's give that a little clean up. And obviously there you've got your little fan there in the middle, which for me it does cool the vapor down quite a bit, but it doesn't act as a turbo in any sense. But for me it does cool it down a bit, because I usually find with a 0.2 ohm build or lower, anywhere really below 4 usually, I find a little bit too hot, and I quite prefer a nice cool vape. So yeah, this is it's about a 0.2 ohm build on there, and I do find that this cools it down quite a bit, and it does make it quite a lot more vapeable for me. I don't like a really hot vape. So, but what I have been doing, guys, this is why I took so long about doing the review. I really wanted to give this RDA a really good try and see what happened. I can vape it like this, but obviously, like everybody knows, with this noise, it's annoying, and obviously the missus was getting fed up of it, and you don't want to be walking around in public using that. So what I do is I don't use this drip tip anymore. We'll put that back in place. So obviously you've got your air holes there, guys, which is quite cool, which is the ohm. I believe it's the ohm symbol in Japanese. This RDA is a clone, guys. You can see it there. It's got a little chip which was on there when it turned up. It is a clone. It only cost me a couple of quid. But again, it is really nice. The O-rings on this are really nice and tight, so that's quite good. And then obviously what you've got is you've got this normal drip tip, which what I did receive with my when I ordered my Mad Hatter RDA, which will be coming soon, guys. I'm just playing around with it at the moment. I ordered some drip tips. Let's have a look. No, I'll put my other ones away, because what I found with this, obviously having that fan in there, there's not a lot of drip tips you can use on this. I'll show you with Tugboat, the Tugboat drip tip from my gold one. If you try and put that in there, that's as far as it goes. It won't go in any further because otherwise it hits that fan. So I was searching around for a while because I wanted to run it in this setup. So I was looking around for ages trying to work out what I could do and how I could use that instead of having that noise. So I thought, well, I was looking through all my different RDAs and all my different drip tips that I had laying around, and then I remembered the Derringer, because it is such a small small RDA. If you go and look on the size of the drip tips for the Derringers, if it focuses, is it gonna focus? Maybe not. You can practically see it there, guys. It's got a really short 510 connector bit there, which doesn't make connection with the fan, so it goes all the way flush. This is a new drip tip which I bought for the Derringer, which I quite like, which I may talk about in another video. Maybe when I do the 1 month update. It's practically the same as the one you get that I got with it, just it got a little different pattern on it. But I received that drip tip and a couple other ones. Also I ordered the Tugboat wide bore. I thought, well, that'd be good because this RDA does push out quite a bit of vapor, and it does have a really short tip on it, which actually fits perfect with the turbo RDA, and I absolutely love running it like this setup. I've had no problems with it, and it doesn't seem to make a noise either. If I whack it on my Dimitri, just drip some juice on there quick, guys. You sometimes can still hear a little bit of that noise, but it's hardly there. Set up the air holes, and I'll take a quick toot. All you can really hear, guys, is the airflow on it. So it's really nice. So other than that, guys, that's all I've got to really show you. So we'll go back up top. So guys, back up top with the Turbo RDA. I actually been really liking this. The flavour's good, and the vapor production is good. I do obviously prefer it without the glass drip tip. With all that noise, where you don't get it in this setup. The only problem you do have, guys, is you do need to have a drip tip with a short tip on it. Otherwise you end up hitting that fan, and that's no good. So obviously anything that will fit the Derringer is what you're looking for, and I've got the wide bore tugboat mod drip tip on there, which it is quite wide bore, and I'll show you the vapor production. It is really nice, really good, and it does keep that I find it does cool that vapor down quite a lot, and you can still hear it a little bit, that like kazoo noise, but it is very quietly. You can still hear that fan turning, but I think where it's shortened the airflow, because it's a smaller hole you're breathing in from, it doesn't let that fan spin so quickly, so it cuts down the noise, and all you can mainly hear is the airflow. So it is really nice. Even blowing down on it, you can hardly hear it. All you can hear, you might not be able to hear it on camera, but all you can hear is that fan spinning a little bit. So it is still working, it is still cooling the vapor down. But yeah, I quite like it. I know a lot of people were hating it, but it's just mainly that noise. I think if they'd brought this out like this, just with this setup, and not bothered with that glass drip tip. Some people, yeah, if you want to have a bit of fun, guys, and you know, and you're sitting around watching some reviews or something, or doing some builds and have some other mods, and you just want to have a little bit of a toot, a little bit of a giggle, you know, you can put that on there for a bit of fun if you want to. But the last month I've been running it like this, and this is actually the setup that I took to Vape Jam on Saturday. Really nice with the Dimitri as well. Lasted me all day. I did take my Hannah and my Rose V2, but I didn't actually need to use it because this lasted me all day. I went for a bottle of a 10ml bottle of juice from One Dream, and obviously because I was tasting other juices and stuff throughout the day as well, so I thought I was going to kill the batteries, but I actually didn't. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So again guys, turbo RDA, running like this, I like it. It's a nice RDA, holds quite a bit of juice. Obviously the only problem I have with that centre screw. I am just going to get the screw that's in there now made a little bit smaller. I'm going to either cut it down or sand it down, or find a way of making it shorter so it doesn't stick up so high, because it looks a bit silly, but obviously it doesn't affect the way the RDA works, and obviously you can't see it anyway. So other than that guys, I don't believe that it works as the same as a turbo, but I do find it cools the vapour down a little bit for me, and I quite like it. So that is the turbo RDA. We'll have a toot. Polish Vapes UK out. And remember guys, stay safe and keep on vaping.